Okay, checking to see if we're live. Just a second. Okay, looks like I'm live. Is anyone here? Let me know if you are here. All right. Let me know in the comments who's here and where you're from and what your flower journey is at. Like, are you just starting out and you want to know some tips and tricks on starting, or if you've been a florist for a while and want some new ideas, let me know in the comments and we'll get started. I do have some topics. If you guys don't have any questions, that's okay too. But let me know if you do have questions. Let's see. I'm going to be using my computer to kind of look at questions and whatnot. So if I'm looking down, that's what's going on. All right. So in case you're new around here, my name is Jenny. I'm from Center Petals, my floral design business. I don't know why. And if you haven't seen any of my videos or anything, I've been a florist for about 10 years. And that I kind of fell into it after graduating from OSU, which is Oregon State University, in 2009. And at the time there was a recession and I couldn't get any job anywhere else. So I took what I could get at Subway, and it was like 4 to 5 months in working there, and they're all like, so when are you going to go back to school? And I'm like, I already have a bachelor's degree. Like, what the guess I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life. So, a friend of a friend was doing some classes at the Floral Design Institute, which is in Portland, Oregon. And, I thought that sounded like fun. Did that just for something creative outlet to do. And I fell in love. I decided that was my passion. It felt like it was my purpose to do floral design. And so I took all their classes, which was kind of expensive, but did all of that. And then I quickly started pursuing a job in floral design, which took a while to get just because a lot of people in established shops had this attitude of, I've paid my dues and you haven't, and you think you know everything and stuff. And so I got a lot of no's from established floral shops. And then opportunities opened up at Fred Meyer, which some people scoff at, like, you worked at a grocery store as a florist. And at first it was about the design, and I got to make the arrangements that I wanted, how I wanted. It was like a flower shop within the store, so I kind of had that safety net of, if this goes under or whatever, it's not on me, it's my business kind of thing, but I got to run it as my own department and whatnot. And then towards the end, it got more and more corporate, and to where they were having us, instead of us making our own arrangements, we were just putting out pre-made things, which is not exactly fun for a florist, not having that freedom. And then it just typical places manager turnover and whatnot became more and more stressful to where I was getting sick there, and I decided that's not for me anymore. So at the time, it's like 2018, I quit Fred Meyer's and just needed something else. And at the time, I was like done watching or done with flowers and whatnot, but not even a year later, I'm like, I need flowers in my life again. So I started pursuing different ways of getting that back, doing some YouTube and whatnot. And now I'm here with you guys, helping you learn floral design and whatnot. So, hi Whitney. It's good to see you. And so anyways, since if you guys don't have any questions, let me just start with some common struggles in floral design. And I think the most common one that I got, especially when I was at Fred Meyer's, people didn't know what colors go together, what flowers go together. And it would kind of irritate them that I would say this, but I was like, well, what do you like? What does your mom like? Or whatever, whoever you're getting it for, what do they like? And that's what you should get. When you're buying flowers for something, get what they like. It doesn't really matter beyond that. Hey, Whitney. And some people are like, oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't need to get roses for Valentine's Day, or I don't need to get this specific flower or whatever. It's whatever they like. And other people were annoyed by that. And so it took a little more figuring out what they were wanting. I usually start with color because that's the most common thing that people like. They either like it or they don't, and they know what colors they like, they know what looks good together, and it often is based on colors. And so that's where usually you would start, and that's what I would recommend to anyone beginning, is just, if you're buying from like the grocery store, it's easy just to kind of walk around, check out what they have, and see what you like as far as color. Or even flowers. If you like a specific flower jumps out at you, go off of that. But colors, they set the mood and the tone of your arrangement, and that is where it's going to help you make a better arrangement if the colors kind of go together. So think of, when you think of red and orange and yellow, you think of like bright and happy and passionate, energetic kind of feelings. So that's the kind of arrangement those colors together will make. Whereas if you want more of a calming, relaxing, often used in sympathy of flowers, like purples, blues, just those calming colors. And that's the kind of vibe, the overall arrangement it's going to make. Colors like white are going to be a neutral, and they're just going to help balance the bright colors. If it's too much, the white will help balance it out. If it's not enough, the white will also help balance that out. So, and then also actually in floral design, green is considered a neutral color because you use a lot of the foliage, like greenery is green. And so you think of that. I mean, you typically don't think of those colors when you're doing your arrangement, but it just helps, make it more neutral. There are green flowers out there, and those flowers will actually help enhance the other colors in your arrangement. So one of my favorite color combos is orange, like a darker pink and green. And that kind of sounds weird, but it does make this really vibrant, bold arrangement. And it doesn't really matter what flowers you use in that and that color combo, and it's just going to be this bold arrangement. I also like doing what is called monochromatic, which is like one color. And some people, like, white is very like sophisticated looking when you do all white or shades of white. You got like creams and whites in it, and some people don't like monochromatic arrangements, but I think they're some of the prettiest arrangements there are. So if you guys have any questions, don't forget to let me know, and I can talk about that too. Otherwise, I'm going to keep rambling about color or other ones. So one of my other favorite ways to pick out arrangements is by going and like figuring out what flower I want and then picking the flower from that, or picking the other colors to go with that. So one example would be iris is usually like a purpley blue color, and it's got often has like yellow or white stripes in it. So I'd pick some yellow or white type flowers to go with it, and that will that's how you get your flowers to kind of all go together, is pulling colors off the other flowers. There's a lot of variegated flowers out there that make it easy to pull out colors, and like I said, monochromatic is also pretty. Doing like pinks, reds, darker reds is really pretty. And I like doing that. Let's see. Another common struggle with floral design, beyond like knowing, and a lot of times too, people think that, you have to have, if you get this kind of flower, it has to go with this kind of flower. And I think that's simply not true. A lot of times, most flowers, I'm not going to say all, but most flowers go with other flowers. It's kind of, especially if you want like a mixed style that is, mixing flowers is how you're going to achieve that. So let me know who's here. Say hi. And if you have any questions, let me know that too. So another struggle people often have is shaping their arrangement. And that's a whole nother discussion on the different shapes you can do and stuff. But generally, when you're designing in a vase or even with floral foam in like a container, your arrangement is going to have what is called a binding point. And generally that binding point is in the center of the arrangement. So if you've done my free beginner's guide that talks about you're angling all the flowers towards the middle of the arrangement, and even like the one that's in the middle is going to be straight up pointing to the middle of like the center of the vase. And that's how you kind of shape your arrangement by, you're all the way around, they're all pointing towards the middle. And then your flowers, either go straight up, but they're going to be at an angle all the way through your arrangement. And that is going to help shape it if you just kind of point all your stems towards the one direction. And doing it that way is going to be more of a round fanned type shape, and that's probably the easiest for beginners to do. There's definitely a lot more shapes out there, but that is what you probably think of when you think of like a bouquet, or, just a simple centerpiece is going to be kind of a round, domey kind of shape to it. So let me know he's here. Yeah. If you guys got any questions, let me know that too. Yep. So let's see, what else did I write down for common struggles? Kind of going back to color a little bit. I've thought of easy ways to think of what colors go together. And I wrote down some easy names to remember, so you guys got. So my first one is opposites attract. So when you're thinking, this is like, hi Mary. So when you're thinking of like a color wheel, on the color wheel, the colors that's opposite from each other. But think of like Christmas colors or red and green. Those, classic Christmas colors go together. You could also do like yellow and purple, like I mentioned with the iris. It's got the purple and yellow go well together. Just opposite colors. Another color combo that works well together is one color many ways, and that is what I was talking about earlier, a monochromatic arrangement, where it's like several shades of white, several shades of pink, several shades of purple, whatever it is, that generally will look good also. Keep it in the family. So this you kind of do need to know the color wheel for. But if you're looking at the color wheel, it's got, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, all the way around. It's got, so your one wedge of the color wheel is going to be what would be considered, to me, a family, that are next to each other. So blue and purples are next to each other, and those are going to go together. Pinks and reds are next to each other. Those are going to go together. So keeping it in those same area of the color wheel, that's what's going to look good together also. Another one would be even Steven, and that is a 3-color combo that you're doing kind of evenly throughout the arrangement. And like I mentioned before, these are kind of if you're looking at the wheel again, it's ones that are kind of directly across from each other to make a triangle. But one of my favorite color combos that are 3 is orange, pink, and green. I just think that makes a gorgeous combos. But with that too, saying that, you do have to get the right shade. So if you're getting like, say like a lighter pink, you need to get a lighter orange as well. Otherwise it's gonna look off. And then the last color combo option is more the merrier. And this is gonna be 5 or more colors. And it's kind of more of like what you think of a garden or a wildflower look. They just grow naturally. They don't, they're all colors are all mixed together. So that's kind of what that would inspire. And so in general, it's going to be like soft colors. So your blushes and creams with each other, or your bolder colors like orange, yellow, red, are going to be to go together. So that's an easy way to do it. And I mean, I'm talking so much about color, but I think it's one of the most important things in an arrangement, just because you look at an arrangement and you see, yes, I like that color combo, or no, I don't. And don't know anything about floral design or flowers or anything like that. Everyone can tell if they like the arrangement based on the colors. So that's why. That's probably the most important thing to get, to work on when you're doing it. In general, like any flowers can go with any other flowers, so don't stress about that. So some other things I'm working on this year, switching topics, is I'm actually working on a floral design book. That's kind of more focused on stay-at-home moms and how they can incorporate floral design in their life for their own, like creative outlet and me time, to be able to have something that's kind of for themselves, but it's not, don't feel guilty about it because you are making it for your house and your home too. So that little bit of me time can help rejuvenate you. And flowers actually have this like natural rejuvenation, like brightens anybody's day kind of thing. So just having that in your house can help out with the mood of the house if you're tired of being all stuck together and whatnot. So my book is focused more on stay-at-home moms, but I think anybody could get a little bit out of it. And essentially it's going to be everything you need to know, from not knowing anything about flowers to being able to pick flowers in a vase and make the arrangement by yourself. That is my goal of this book that I'm doing. So there's a lot to it, and it's gonna be probably a while, but I am working on that. So if you have like questions about that, you can definitely shoot me an email or comment in this group. And it's definitely going to be beyond what I talked about in the 8-step beginner's guide. That was just kind of a simple way to get started versus like being able to just make things on your own. So what else? I'm also working on doing more videos more often. I think that's a great way to show how to do things. And so if you want to see a specific demo of something, let me know that too. I also am working on this like shop that's going to have bows in it. It's an Etsy shop, and that kind of ties in because I'm going to have mason jar vases in it. I love designing in mason jars and just creating different color combos and whatnot with the vases. And then I'll have some bows for wreaths mostly, but you could use some of the bows for arrangements, centerpieces and whatnot. And that's pretty much it that I'm working on this year for 2021. I will be posting an updated, revised where to find flowers in 2021. Is similar to what I already have posted in the group, but it's going to include a few more things that I've gotten questions about. One was like how to find wholesalers, and that is you're gonna have a floral related business and a business ID number, tax ID number to be able to get that. But those are great resources too. So I will have a little bit about getting wholesale flowers. There are a few places, like I know in San Francisco, anybody can go to the flower market there on certain days and times to get flowers. You don't have to have the license. So some places are lucky like that can do that. I live in Oregon, so fortunately that is not an option for me really. But there are some places like you can get online flower or wholesale flowers too. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about foraging for your products. Kind of goes with gardening, but you can, go to the park and look for certain things and stuff. I don't do that too often just because in my area there's not a whole lot to get. Unless you want some like evergreens or something like that. But yeah, so there's that. And then there's one more thing I can't think of right now that was going to be added to Where to Find Flowers. But yeah, so I'll be posting that probably later today, maybe tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So since I'm just kind of rambling now and no one seems to have questions, I'm going to hop off. But if you guys think of stuff later, don't worry, I will still be around. I'm still here and can answer questions in the group. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out the free 8-step beginner's guide to making your first centerpiece like a pro. It's good for people that it doesn't have to be your first centerpiece. But I even actually had a professional experienced florist look at it the other day, and it helped her just get her own, like, to train her own team and do her own thing too. So it doesn't have to be just for total beginners. But anyways, you can get that at centerpetals.com/guide, and I will put a link in that also. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you later. Bye.